They did it again. The England women's national football team, affectionately known as the Lionesses, has returned home victorious, lifting the UEFA Women's Euro 2025 trophy and proving once more why they are one of the most iconic teams in world football. But this isn't just about a trophy. It's about a movement, a revolution, and a nation that has fallen completely in love with its team. Their journey to the final was filled with drama, determination, and grit. And their win over Spain in the final, clinched in a nail-biting penalty shootout, will go down as one of the most thrilling moments in women's football history. But if the final was historic, the scenes that followed back home were legendary. An emotional homecoming at Southend Airport. Just hours after lifting the trophy in Switzerland, the Lionesses boarded a specially branded plane back to the UK, a flight that was already being tracked online by tens of thousands of fans. The aircraft was decorated with the word "home" in bold lettering next to the iconic three lions crest, setting the tone for what was to come. As the plane descended over Southend Airport, hundreds of fans were already waiting, waving flags, holding handmade signs, and chanting in unison, "Football's coming home!" Despite warnings from the FA urging fans to avoid the airport for security reasons, the crowd grew. There were little girls dressed as their favorite players, from Mary Earps to Lauren James, and entire families who had stayed up late the night before to watch the final. This wasn't just a welcome. It was a statement. When Leah Williamson, the team captain, stepped off the plane holding the trophy, the cheers were deafening. There were hugs, chants, selfies, and emotion everywhere. In that moment, these women weren't just footballers. They were icons, symbols of possibility, honored at Downing Street. The celebration didn't stop at the airport. Just a few hours later, the entire squad and staff were invited to 10 Downing Street for a formal reception hosted by Deputy Prime Minister Angela Rayner and Sports Minister Stephanie Peacock. The historic residence was transformed into a celebration space. Red carpet rolled out. During the 40-minute gathering, players mingled with political leaders, posed for photographs, and even FaceTimed Prime Minister Keir Starmer, who was traveling in Scotland. Despite being away, Starmer made it clear, this team has done more than win. They've inspired an entire country. Coach Serena Wiegman, often calm and composed, was visibly moved. It's been very, very special, she said. What these women have achieved will ripple across generations. This wasn't just a political photo op. This was national recognition. A platform being given to women's football that had been denied for too long. A tournament that changed everything. The Euro 2025 tournament was already shaping up to be monumental. Hosted in Switzerland, it marked a new era in women's football with record attendance, record viewership, and some of the most competitive matches the women's game has ever seen. For England, the path to the final wasn't easy. A shocking 2-1 loss to France in the group stage raised early doubts. But the team bounced back, defeating the Netherlands and then Sweden in a dramatic quarterfinal that went to penalties. By the time they reached the final, the momentum, and the belief, was unstoppable. But beyond individual brilliance, what made this team special was its unity, its togetherness, its purpose. A nation united in pride. Back in the UK, the celebration exploded across cities and towns. From London to Liverpool, Manchester to Newcastle, massive outdoor screens had broadcast the final to crowds in the thousands. Pubs stayed open late. Streets filled with fans. Fireworks erupted. On social media, the hashtag Lionesses trended worldwide. But perhaps the most powerful images came the next morning. Of young girls playing football in their local parks, wearing England shirts with names like Walsh, Toon, Bronze, and Greenwood. The impact wasn't just emotional, it was tangible. Major retailers reported spikes in sales of women's kits. Football clubs across the country saw a surge in registrations for girls' academies. The BBC aired live interviews with fans saying they had never cared about football until watching this team. Schools used the match as part of their Monday morning lessons. This one had culture-shifting power. A celebration that crosses borders. When a nation like England, steeped in football tradition, celebrates its women like this, the message goes global. From the United States to Nigeria, from Brazil to Japan, fans and players watched as the Lionesses were treated not just as athletes, but as national treasures. That kind of recognition is rare, but it's what sets the stage for true change. We've seen this before, of course. In 2019, the USWNT's World Cup win sparked protests, policies, and eventually, pay equity. In 2022, England's first Euro title boosted attendance in the Women's Super League by more than 200%. Now in 2025, the moment feels even bigger, more global, more unified, and more powerful. Looking ahead, Brazil 2027. And now, the road continues, all the way to Brazil, host of the FIFA Women's World Cup 2027. This will be the first time that Brazil, a country that lives and breathes football, will host the women's tournament. The symbolism is undeniable. A new continent, new fans, new energy, and another global celebration of women's football. Already, stadiums like the Maracanã, Arena Corinthians, and Beira Rio are being prepared to welcome fans from across the globe. The Brazilian government has promised investment in infrastructure and youth development, and CONMEBOL has pledged to expand women's club competitions in the region in the lead-up to the tournament. For the Lionesses, the journey continues. They'll enter Brazil 2027 as European champions, with a target on their backs and a world of expectations. But they'll also arrive with something stronger: belief, legacy, and a fanbase that spans continents. The legacy they're building. What makes this team so special isn't just what they do on the pitch, it's what they inspire off it. Increased funding for grassroots football in England, expanded media coverage of the Women's Super League, corporate sponsorships specifically for women's teams, national conversations about representation, opportunity, and equality. Even the way we talk about the sport has changed. Commentators use the term footballers, not female footballers. That shift in language reflects something deeper: acceptance, normalization, and respect. What comes next for the Lionesses? In the coming weeks, we'll likely see appearances on major talk shows and sporting panels, public celebrations, possibly a parade through London, special features in international magazines and news outlets, new brand deals, documentaries, and partnerships. But more importantly, we'll see a ripple effect. Little girls will ask for football boots, boys will name their favorite player and say Elatoon. Teachers will tell their students about leadership and show them videos of Leah Williamson. That's the real win. Love this story? Support women's football. If you believe in equality in sport, if you believe women deserve stadiums, stories, and spotlights, if this story moved you or inspired you, then subscribe to our channel. Here, we share the biggest moments, the behind-the-scenes journeys, and the voices that matter in women's football. Like this video, drop a comment to support your favorite lioness, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss the next big story. Because this is more than football. This is history in the making.